Hi, I'm Dr. Harris Meyer. I'm coming to you from East Bay Disc Centers in Concord, California. I wanted to shoot this short video about spinal decompression because one of my patients who I saw today came in and she told me she was actually referred by two friends who she says were doing spinal decompression at home. And I thought, that's really not possible. So tell me about it. What were they doing? So she explained they both are using inversion tables where they hang upside down. So they're hanging from their ankles that are braced in. So as their body weight is pulling, the greatest force is actually at the ankles, then at the knees, a little bit less at the hips, and then a very diffuse, very generalized pulling in the lower back. This cannot restore a disc. A degenerated disc looks not like this, which is a nice, normal, healthy disc, but it looks like it's smushed down. And in a lot of cases, that disc will actually bulge out, represented by the red portion here, pushing against this nerve here. And so if you have a bulging disc or a herniated disc like that, it's pinching the nerve, causing symptoms very likely like sciatica, numbness, tingling, pain, or weakness coming down the leg. By the way, the same thing can happen in the neck, and we can use decompression on our table for the neck as well. Those symptoms would be the same coming down the arm. In any case, when you're hanging on that table, again, it's your full body weight. And so there are a few issues with it, not just that most of the force is coming to the ankles and not the spine, but because you're hanging upside down, your body thinks it's going to separate and you have no control over the deep muscles. They're going to contract. So there's a fight going on. Your body's saying, no, 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 don't stretch, but the table's holding you upside down and you're wanting to stretch. So you can't get anything that's going to actually change the spine itself. It will likely give you temporary relief, which is a wonderful thing, but I don't want anybody to expect any long-term benefit from this. Now, one of the things we have to do with decompression that we have to accomplish is rehydrating the disc. As it becomes compressed like this, the damage causes the disc to lose its water content. It's about 80% water in a healthy disc. And when we lose that, it becomes dehydrated and then further breaks down. When you use our decompression table, you're not going to be hanging upside down. You're going to be lying flat, which is a relaxing position. A lot of people actually fall asleep. They're so comfortable during their session. But we can focus right in on the specific disc, and I'm going to show you how we do that. For instance, if I wanted to address the L3-4 disc, I would angle this table up, and now when it's pulling, it's focused right at that exact level. You can't do that on an inversion table. Now, if we have a situation where a disc is bulging in a certain way, we might also have to angle the table. Not this much, I want to make it obvious so you can see it, but slight angling in either direction might be necessary. And sometimes we even have to rotate the table. Again, it wouldn't be to that extent, but now you can see what the variability is with this table. So we can really focus in on where your problem is, whether it's going to one side or another, more to the front or to the back. But then we have to look at, well, how much force do we use? So with inversion, it's your body weight. You have no variability there. But when you start off on a decompression table, we're going to start you with a very small amount of force pulling, separating the spinal bones. We want to be gentle. We want to let your body get used to it. We want to help you feel relief, not flare up your symptoms. Every time you come in, we're going to gradually increase that force of pull until we get to the point that I feel is the maximum where you should stay. And we're going to keep you there for the duration of the sessions that you're scheduled for. Now, every session is about 25 minutes, and we typically want to see people somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 to 3 times a week. But once in a while, we have people who are referred in by friends or family, and they're only in town for 2 or 3 weeks. We'll see them in the morning and the afternoon, morning and afternoon. So by the time they fly home after a couple of weeks of treatment, their symptoms are gone and they're feeling fantastic, and we did a wonderful job helping to restore their disc. Now, I wanted to talk about the rehydrating of the discs. The way this table works, it's a computerized program. It's going to pull, hold that pull, and then partially return. Then it's going to pull again a little bit further, hold it, and come back just a little bit. And when we do that, we know from more than 4 decades of research on spinal decompression, that is what helps to suck water in from the surrounding tissues around your spine back into the disc. So we're rehydrating and actually restoring it. Again, this is something you can't do with not only an inversion table, but any other form of traction. So there's a marked difference between traction and spinal decompression. I hope you learned a lot from this. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. You can get us by phone at 925-320-3472. Call us up. We'll be happy to answer any questions or schedule an appointment. Have you come in. Let's find out if you're a good candidate for this and how we think it might help you. Thanks for watching. Have a terrific day.